Hi, everybody. Wait until a few more people come in. Happy Easter. Happy Ostara. This video is for Starseeds, Earth Angels, Lightworkers. Just want to talk about the history of Ostara and what it means to us as pagans, spiritual people, and that this is where Easter comes from. It is basically the spring equinox. Okay, we're going to get started. So Ostara is the spring equinox. It was celebrated as a pagan festival, celebrating the renewal of life and return of the sun. Um, it's also believed to be Germanic goddess Estra, or you can pronounce it Ostara. I think Ostara is easier than the German name. She was a German goddess that was represented as the goddess of fertility and dawn. The dawn, like right before the sun comes up. Okay. And so basically, that's where the maypole comes from, as far as um, what is that? The not the Irish, the Nordic religion in Norway with Odin and that type of thing. Just saying. Okay. So anyway, there's a festival that is drawn and is to celebrate. So Ostara is the renewal of rebirth, growth, and abundance. And that's where spring is. Spring is the renewal. We're coming out of fall and winter, which is to not to kill off things, but the end of a cycle. And so Ostara is the beginning of the cycle, new beginning. This is when we do rituals for new beginnings to bring new things in our life that we want to birth new ideas, new businesses, whatever. Um, uh, Fertility, um, planting seeds, decorating. This is where the decorating of eggs come from, because the egg is a seedling, is a, well, not a seedling. It is well, yeah, I guess it is sort of like a seedling of a baby chicken, because it's a chicken inside and you're waiting for that chicken to hatch to be born. So that's rebirth. So, and then you gather fresh herbs and fruits and seasonal foods of that time. Okay. But let's see. And you also have the pastel colors of the greens, the pinks, the purples, and the light blues. Celtics celebrate Ostara for the same thing, triumphant return of light. All cultures celebrate Ostara, but when we got into Christianity, they took Ostara and turned it into Easter and made it this other thing of return of Christ and all of that stuff. So the Jews used it as a sacrificial offering. They took the egg and they boiled it and roasted it as a sacrifice, for the new beginning. Because Jews are all about sacrificial things. So that's where Ostara comes from. But we as pagans celebrating Ostara, it is celebrated either the 20th or the 21st, which is also, what is it, Aries, Taurus cusp. Okay. So some of you are born on that cusp during the spring equinox. And it also is to bring about balance. Okay. It is the balance of balance. It symbolizes balance and harmony of when day and night are equal. That's when you do all your spring cleaning to get ready for newness. Okay. You do your spring cleaning, you do all of your saging and cleaning with witch hazel or my mind is at a blank today. Probably because I have to go to work and I really don't want to. Somebody put it in the comments what I'm talking about. It'll come to me. When it does, I'll say it. So yeah, so that the Celts celebrated it with a maypole. That's when they tie the ribbons around the top of the maypole and they just keep going around and around, putting the ribbons around the maypole. Also, some people plant a garden. This is the best time to plant a garden. This is also when the farmers plant. Okay. Some people have a bonfire or campfire. Some people make an altar with the little eggs on there and flowers and candles. Take a nature walk and look at the flowers as they bloom. Florida water. Clean your home with Florida water. I knew it would come to me. Okay. And as far as the food, okay, they have a feast. As far as the food, they make egg-based foods like deviled eggs, omelets, frittatas. They make hot cross buns. That's where hot cross buns come from. and it's just the buns with basically a cross on it, but it's not a traditional Christian cross. It's just an X. Okay. Like I said, they make us the altar, and also to honor the gods and goddesses at this time, and journal. Okay, spend time in nature, manifest your goals. The bunny rabbit, I don't know where the bunny rabbit comes from. Well, because I guess because bunnies they multiply, they multiply a lot. So that could be a symbol as where the bunny rabbit comes from. Okay. And during the springtime is when a lot of animals mate. This is mating season for animals. And they are very, very abundant, these bunny rabbits. Okay, now since we've gotten that out of the way of Ostara and the history of it, I want to do a little reading as to, I guess I'll put that down there, as to where we are, what we're supposed to be doing as far as manifesting. Okay, as starseeds, light workers, earth angels, chosen ones, however you want to look at it. What are we supposed to be manifesting at this time? Let me just turn on the light. It's a little dark in here. Hmm. Let me have this in. Just a minute, guys. Let me turn the light on. Oh, sorry. I guess that's okay. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so let's get started. Trying to see what I don't want to do the typical starseed cards. Hmm. Let me sage. I always forget. So I'm doing TikTok now, and of course you can't use smoke or anything like that. So it's like I forget to sage. Why is this sage not lighting? Ow. Okay. Spirit guides, ancestors, divine counsel, we invite you here in this space with us to give us guidance, clarity, and protection as we receive your messages. Blessed be. Okay. So now we can get into it. Spirit guides, ancestors, divine counsel. What messages do you have for earth angels, spirit guides, light workers, the collective? What messages do you have for the collective at this time? Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Get plenty of rest and sleep. I have been very, very tired lately. Very tired. I went house looking yesterday and I did a couple of readings, and I'm telling you, I was tired. Surrender to stubbornness. Why am I doing surrender cards? I picked up the wrong cards. Okay, well, let's go with it. Let's see, maybe I didn't pick up the wrong cards. Maybe I thought I picked up the wrong cards. I don't know. Surrender to silence. Comparisons to other people. You guys got that out yesterday. And being defensive. Okay. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear non-defensive response. Okay. So you guys are not to be defensive against people. Let them say what they want to say. People have freedom of speech. Okay. I know it's not being demonstrated, or it's trying not to be demonstrated at this time, but just let people have their say so, and you just listen to them. Yeah, you just listen to them, and don't worry about what they say, how they treat you, or whatever. Let them say whatever. You know, is their opinion. Their opinion does not define you in any way. That is just their opinion, period. Okay. Wisdom of your body. This says, listen to your intuition. Your body will never steer you wrong. And that's what happened to me yesterday. I listened to my intuition. I let it guide me. You know, this guy was trying to scam me out of some money, a house that was not his. Of course, I found it on Craigslist. But, you know, it is what it is. They want you to get plenty of rest and sleep at this time. This time is for nesting because you're birthing new ideas. You know, when someone's pregnant, they do a lot of nesting, they do a lot of resting. You're birthing new ideas. That's a lot of work, that's a lot of energy. Stop being stubborn. Go with the flow of things. Stop being stubborn. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Surrender to silence. It's time to be quiet. Move in silence. If you're being creative, birthing a new idea, or whatever the case may be, keep it to yourself. Move in silence. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing, and vice versa. Okay? Stop talking too much. Stop comparing yourself to other people. No two people are the same. Twins aren't even the same. Okay? Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Who cares what other people are doing? You do you. That's all you need to care about. But this is not the deck I wanted. Let's see. Oh, let's do the deck Pure Magic. I think this kind of coincides with spring. It's more of a witchy deck, but that's okay because I think it complements this time. Okay. First one we got hidden familiars. Allies, natural assistance, divine support, comfort. Let's see what this one says. This is very long, so I'm just going to summarize it. But basically, it talks about helping others. It says Earth provides allies for every purpose. There are plants, animals, minerals, and spirit powers ready to assist you in the acquisition of literally any skill or experience. Spirit assists us for any number of reasons. Some do it because they like us, while others do it as a professional patronage. Hecate is the matron of midwives. Demeter suffered the trauma of a kidnapped child. So if that's your personal pain, she shares it. If a spirit resonates for you, odds are it's because they're already calling you, already lingering in the shadows. And in general, they pick you. whichever specific power it might be reckoned. Can't see. Where about that? Whichever specific power it might be recognizes something about your power and initiates the alliance. You may have a reoccurring dream of a wolf chasing you and you run, fearing it will harm you. The wolf keeps returning, frustrated in its attempts to reach you as is as its intent is merely to offer advice and assistance. So you might be having a dream that something is trying to harm you, but in actuality, it's not. It's trying to give you a message. And it could be the same thing in your physical life. You may think that somebody is trying to harm you, and they're really not. They're here to support you. Okay. Message to myself. Okay. I still don't like that person. He's not a bad person. He just doesn't align with my spirit. So I'm good. Anyway, says pure wisdom. We were all born naked into the world, but we are never brought in alone. The message arises for you to look at your allies and evaluate the relationship and energy between you. Is there natural support and joy? Is the energy significant, stagnant, or weak? Consider the effect of your bond and see where you can give or receive love in greater ways. Are you supporting others along their great journey or surrendering to the fears of being alone? Your allies are your protective guardians, but they are also your spiritual guides, opening the doors of lessons for you to learn, walk through, and experience. Ask yourself if you are pushing others away or inviting impossibilities in. If you are in a state of withdrawal, now is the time to face the sun and emerge back into your community. Message to self. We're going to pull another card. I know I'm in denial. I'm sorry. As you do these readings, I don't know if other readers experience this, but sometimes it resonates with myself, as that one did. Message to self. Go back and evaluate. You may be pushing somebody away that you may not think that like, I don't think he aligns with me, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe it's something else. Oh, excuse me, guys. Allergies. I'm in Washington State, and this time of year, it's a lot of pollen. Hence springtime, Ostara, germinating plants, getting ready. Levitation, higher ground, belief, mastery, and meditation. You guys got two cards out about meditation now. Ancestors, family, survival, death, worship. Your ancestors are surrounding you. Okay? Your ancestors are surrounding you. Let's read levitation. I've already taken my allergy medicine. Okay. Levitation. As it requires belief to become weightless despite taught conditions, levitation is a skill in controlling the physics and gravity to arise with weightless form. The art of levitation is an ability that has historical roots in the early times of antiquity, which when witches flew to attend nocturnal sabbats and mystics and monks hovered meters from the ground deep in silent meditation. Levitation isn't an ability of luxury, but rather one of necessity to recognize the full capacity of your spiritual being. To discover you can rise when others stay bound is by no means a small feat. The trick to mastering levitation comes not from controlling air, but becoming like the air. The art is simple. You gain freedom from the binds once you deeply accept you were born of spirit and thus born to fly, even if for just a moment of life's fleeting time. Then it says levitation calls for you to release yourself from the old ways, the old roads of past pain and memories, and elevate your energy and mind towards higher ground. So basically, this is telling you to it's time for you to elevate, or you're starting to elevate. Okay. When you release stubbornness, you surrender to silence, be in silence, meditate. Okay. Some of you may levitate and some of you may not, but it's a rise in consciousness of you elevating consciously. Are you staying in the thickness of ego, or are you able to see the truth and free yourself from the grasp of collective ignorance? When you release yourself, you can choose where to land. Make your own freedom and journey to your own truth. Take in the magical ability of levitation and see to it that if a wall stands in your way, you can rise and fly over it. Or see it another way from your vantage point, from your better vantage point. The old gods call you to raise your powers, and stay steady as they lift you from disbelief and discouraging limits. Your body and soul are merging into new energies to harness and weave through your new life. Enjoy the thrill of new heights and master your balance as you are guided forward. And in this deck, with each card, there is a spell. And I don't do the spells because it's someone else's spell. Spells are they hold more power when they're your own. Okay, when you think about them, when you put the energy into it, your own words, you know, it holds more power, more weight. I feel anyway. Okay, ancestors. I'm not going to stay on here too long. I got to get ready for work. Yay. Ancestors talks about family, survival, death, and worship. Okay. It says, how far down the line do you know about your ancestors and the lives they led? What pieces of the puzzle are in store for you to discover when you reclaim the history of your surviving line? We sit in classrooms as children and learn about the history of the world and this discoverers, explorers, scientists, and leaders who changed the paths of the human collective. But we also hold those very types of beings in the thick of our bodies. We carry the magic of the leaders from our own families waiting to be unlocked. Of all spirits throughout the world, the most accessible, responsive spirits of all may be your personal ancestral spirits. It is assumed in many cultures that following death, some part of the individual stays behind to provide protection to descendants. The remaining family, in return, is expected to remember them honor their memory, be a source of pride, and perhaps offer gestures of respect on occasion. Your genetic code, your DNA, goes back to the dawning of human time. If you're not comfortable with your immediate ancestors, go back further. Visualize them hovering over you, waiting to be honored and put to work. So you can ask your ancestors for guidance and help, and they will help you. They will protect you. They will guide you. Um, they they can do a lot. Okay, you just have to call on them, even if you don't know their names. You know, some of us are adopted or whatever the case may be, and we don't know our names, but our ancestors know us. Did I say we don't? We don't know their names. See what I'm saying? We don't know their names, but our ancestors knows us. So you can call on your ancestors. You know, you don't have to know them by name, but you can still call on them. What's this green dot down here? I don't know what that green dot is. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, okay, so it says, dig a little deeper and remember that we are brought here by the stories of our families, no matter how strong or weak our familial bonds may be. Do not ignore messages that arise at this time, for there is energy waiting for you to tap into the will that will accelerate your path and direction. Are you in need of advice on a certain course of action? Tap into the spirit of your ancestor who went through the same or similar journey. They have an abundance of wisdom to offer if you speak with them. You are guided and protected, but you are also reminded to pay homage to the ones gone before. Remember and give thanks to the past, and your future will be rewarded. Then it says here a magical hint. Are you a messy eater? If food constantly falls off your fork and if it's always dropping onto your clothes, this may be your ancestors telling you they want a word with you. Set up some communication and see if your table habits suddenly become neater. Wow. Okay. Well, what if you always were a messy eater? You know? Oh, this is going to be an interesting day. I'm just trying to be positive. I really am. This is going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Well, it won't be a bad day because I'm on afternoons now. No more day shift. They tried to get me to come in for a day shift. First of all, I am not a morning person, but I was up at 6 o'clock this morning, meditating and stuff. And for some reason, I can get up to do this, but when it comes to that job, I'm late every day, every day. Okay, last one. Hecate's path. Hecate is calling to someone. She's calling to someone. This is the second time that I pulled her out. Okay. Well, not this. This is the first time I pulled her out for a card, but I was talking about her and Demeter when I was explaining about Ostara. Okay. No, wait a minute. No. Actually, no, I did pull her. It was this card, Hidden Familiars, when it's talking about her and Demeter. Okay. Of spirits coming to you and why they want to be around you is because they've gone through the same experience. So Hecate, and then I got the bottom of the deck, witch's wounds. Witch's wounds says remedy, magical medicine, sacred heart, another day. I'm definitely gonna read that one. But Hecate's path, cycle of life, night magic, crossroads, letting go. She is here to help someone let go of whatever. We're about to read that right now. Okay. Hecate's path, queen of the witches, matron of midwives, herbalist, and psychopomp. What? I don't even know what that is. I'll look it up right quick. Really? It is a video game. Why is the video game in here? Psychopomp. That can't be a video game. There it is. Psychopomp. It is a guide of souls, often a deity, spirit, or other being who leads deceased individuals to the afterlife. They act as intermediaries between the living and the spirit world, facilitating the transition of souls across the boundaries of life and death. Okay. Pumples is a Greek word meaning spirit guides. Okay, that explains it. Hecate maintains office hours only at night. Formal petitions and invitations must be offered after dark. Hecate was the first deity that I worked with when I started my witchy journey. And then I would also work with not Buddha, um, Ganesh. Okay, when I wanted to manifest money, but Hecate was, she got me through a lot. I was in a very very dark place, and she helped me. She helped me, and then from there I started to work with Santa Morta, and that's who I work with now. Santa Morta, Archangel Michael, uh, Metatron. Metatron. I'm going to do a video on Metatron. Metatron is something amazing. Something amazing. So, anyway, a particularly ancient spirit, the only source of illumination she favors is fire. And I do a lot of fire magic. And I only do it because it's faster, it's stronger. And I also do blood magic, which is I prick my finger and I put the blood in like my herbs. If I'm dressing a candle or whatever, I put my blood as a signature on the back of my petition before I burn it. Okay. It just makes it stronger and faster. And it lets my ancestors know that it's me from the bloodline. Goddess of the moon spirits and necromancy. Hecate's powers govern over heaven, earth, sea, and she embodies the forms of maiden, mother, and crone. She can grant you enhanced psychic powers, fertility, romance, protection, and all forms of magic from the old kingdoms to the new. The Queen of the Night reminds us of our capability of being both good and evil and teaches us the importance of change, aiding us to release the past and step into new lands and experiences. Like her cousin Artemis, Hecate is a fierce protector of women, especially women with children. She stands at her place at the crossroads as she guides the frontiers between the realms of the living and the dead and various planes perceptible only with psychic vision. For this, she is the first escort to contact for journeying into the underworld. You are asked to let go of what is familiar, safe, and uncomfortable and comfortable in order to break the stagnant wheel and discover new opportunities that lie waiting ahead. What is dead is gone, and a new path must begin its process in order to continue the cycle again: birth, death, and rebirth. It coincides with Ostara at this time. Okay. You guys are going through a rebirth. Hecate is reaching out to you to give you guidance. If you don't resonate with Hecate, if you feel uncomfortable working with Hecate, you don't have to. Call on your ancestors. They will guide you. That is what they're here for. Says you are guided to delve deeper into your spiritual path and remember the soul truths hidden inside your cosmic makeup to, to aid recovery and those soul truths you have hidden from others. It is time to transform from the old self and walk your truth for yourself and for your legacy. And then it gives a spell that, I'm not doing that. And the other one is 36. It was witches' wounds. I want to read that one. That one again talked about remedy, magical medicine, sacred heart, and another day. I really like this deck. I don't use it enough because, like I said, I don't do the spells in the back. It says cauldron, body, hearth, or bowl. We use various vessels to spin our magic and then drink the tonic spells of love and delight. What remedy do you seek? You have all you need at the reach of your hand. Your heart is the wellspring to nature's abundance as you connect with love and grace. Do not fear a life of danger or suffering, but instead fear a life of no growth. Embrace the power that arises from pain and the beauty that flowers after the darkness withdraws from its kiss. Using the ingredients of holy medicine and remedy is the answer to the peace you seek. We all have tears to shed in life, for great works of poetry, art, and beauty have all been born from broken hearts. But broken hearts pave the way for healing and return to joy. Your scars tell stories of troubled times, but they are also the faces of your courage. A cauldron requires the four natural elements of life in order for it to work. Earth for abundance, for earth for balance, fire for heat, air to breathe, and water to stir your power into. Go to the nearest body of water and gather your friends and bards in circles, offering your tears to the water's depths. This card is a reminder that sometimes we repeat our lessons so we can continue to master our heart. Do not abuse the mind or spirit or doubt that things will ever change. Whether you are whether you or another is learning deeply, be still and remember to be patient. Says you are the vessel of experience and your heart is a cauldron of power and change. Craft a psychic golden crown and place it atop your heart. You are worthy of redemption. You are worthy of healing and peace. Refrain from annoyance or anxious impatience. All things are carried out in nature's process. When we prioritize our work and push away our aches for another day, we rob the spirit of healing. Then it says, follow your intuition. Pains are not to stay forever. Tend to your wounds and ensure they do not fester into something bigger. So the first card that came out, remember, it was surrender. And it was talks about your intuition. Okay. So I thought that I wasn't supposed to pull the surrender cards because that was not my intent, but that's what I grabbed without me knowing it and realizing it later. So I was supposed to grab them after all. So basically, Ostara, the message for Ostara today is follow your intuition, get plenty of rest and sleep, do spiritual baths, um, plan your new beginnings with heart, ask for guidance. Could be your ancestors, it could be Hecate, it could be whatever deity that you work with or believe in or whatever. Okay. Not all of us here are pagan. But just ask for guidance. It could be a brother, sister, mom, dad, whoever. Just ask for guidance, ask for help if you need it. Okay. You don't have to be on this journey alone, and be in silence and don't tell everybody what you're doing. Keep it to yourself, move in silence. Okay. I know a lot of you are good with that. And especially for people that are not awake and not on this journey, they're not going to understand anyway. So you're going to have to keep it to yourself unless you want to be in a straitjacket. Because some of this just sounds a little out there. Okay. So thank you guys. And I will talk to you later. Oh, goodness. Oh, thank you. I love the comments. Thank you. Yes. Okay. That's nice. Thank you. All right. So, guys, you have been very wonderful. And if you guys need a personal reading, reach out. Also, you can follow me on TikTok, is where I was going to go, but I don't think I have time for a reading now over on TikTok. Um, yeah, go ahead and follow me on TikTok. It's High Priestess 2021. And that link is in my bio if you guys want to look that up. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get off here. And oh, Jesus, get ready for work. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.